approach the principals or the schools, they say ki we have counselors to handle everything. And we know we have already organized some workshops on cyber security, and I told them this is just cheerleaders basically. They over 50% is out, 25% after a day or two it's also out of the mind, and then everybody is back to square one, gaga with the everything that we have a workshop and you have already used it on the backboard, that I have done this. But primarily, are we seriously? We are talking about drug abuse, such abuses and all the kind of things. But are we actually addressing the issue of cyber security? My issue is that, my question is that we are not. We are talking about the addiction which is taking place. Yes, it is bad. It is it is dragging people to commit suicide. We have been invited by, fortunately after 2 years, we were invited by the Ministry of IT, and who told us, can you create a course which should be structured in classroom based basically. So what is age appropriate, what I can, a child of that class or particular is indulging in, what a class 7 student is indulging in, can we just figure it out? We did that, it took us a lot of time. Then we were directed to NASCOM, Mr. Sandhya Chintala, who was there. They told us, whatever you want to teach, could you structure it in this pattern, that whatever you want to teach, you teach. But the one thing you have to make it very clear that what you are teaching, we are not interested. What is the learning outcome which is coming out from your teaching is important to me. And after that, what learning outcome, what he... So, can you safeguard? So what we have structured it based on various attempts, approaches to principals, doing Reiki with the students, class teachers, and interacting that and with the students as well, that what are their indulgence? Because unless we know their indulgence, we can't get the cure to the whole thing. So we knew that this class, this age student indulges in these kind of activities. Otherwise, if you are not diagnosing the whole thing, how can you give a recipe to this, the cure to that? So we did a lot of time, and then we found out how much, because schools were also concerned that you can't load the student which is already loaded with lot of curriculum and heavy syllabuses. How do we do it? So I talked to them that what are the hours in a year which they can find out spare, because what IT classes are doing, they are basically indulging in keyboarding, Excels and all these kinds of things which they are into. They are not telling the students to be secure. Nowhere it is being addressed. So what we did primarily, that we took out how many hours you can spare. In those hours, can we incorporate something which a student can be a learner, and we can map a continuum of growth of a child. When he reaches to the class 12th, instead of landing, if his scores are not good in 12th, where does he land? He lands into a call center. He acquires zero skills. He just says, yeah, I know, how are you? We're fine, that's fine. That's all accent, basically. Beyond that, if you leave that, there is zero skill acquired by them. So what we are doing, that we are giving that skill pattern to them. And with after the 12th, because we are also training them with the continuum of growth, you map that they have reached to this level. And once that they have reached the class 12th, they can be opting for CEH kind of a certified ethical hacker, a professional course, which can shape their career. And in India, as per the National Security Advisor, we have a shortage of more than 6+ lakh cyber secure professionals. What we are doing is basically, we told them that why don't you take the service people? They have the antecedents proven. Why don't you look into them? Because they are landing either in security services or some other places. They are not giving. But it is mass movement. Mass movement can only come from schools. From the grassroots level, we have to condition the child. We have to get him the cyber etiquette, basically. हम स्कूटर चलाते हैं उसके लिए भी मेरे पास लाइसेंस होता है, बट यहाँ क्या है, हम पीयर प्रेशर करते हैं, कुछ किसी का बड़ा भाई है उससे हमने सीख लिया, किसी को a blind leads a blind, both shall fall into the ditch, and amongst the blind one-eyed is the king, and that is what has happened to the security cyber areas. So it is time, and we have developed on the basis of this with CDAC assistance, NASCOM and ministries and the schools involvement, developed course materials from class 4th to class 10th. And today we'll be unveiling that in the August gathering of all the principals who are there. And I would seek your blessings that once you review this, and we would look for a positive response from you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for your valuable, whatever you have told. It's really.